23 ball 26 run. थोड़े 3 ball 26 तो बढ़ा दो क्या? गुड शॉट. रन. 24 होना चाहिए ना. एक ही लिया क्या? तुरंत. जिता दिया उधर. ओह. 6. That's a 6. एक और 6. एक और 6. अठारह बॉल में 12 रन. 18 बॉल में 12 रन. राजदीप के 3 किल हुए. वो कुछ बोलना चाहता है तुमको. क्या हो गया भाई? हाँ 2 6 मारा. क्या हो गया भाई राजदीप?
भाई
बॉलिंग तो खतरनाक करी भाई, वो जो कैच करी ना हेड की इसने, ओए होए।
क्या राजदीप क्या बोल रहा है?
क्या बोला?
अरे बाप रे.
बाउंटी बोला कुछ बोलना चाहता है तू मेरे को.
मैं क्या बोला? हाँ कैटेगरी एपेक्स है.
अच्छा.
और क्या बोला उसके बाद?
नहीं.
माउंटेन
अरे
याद तो
तीन
दिला
किल
लो.
नहीं, 3 किल नहीं हुए थे.
एक और
अच्छा
सिक्स
जा
हाँ,
रहा है.
मेरे पे 3 किल थे शुरू.
भाई एक और सिक्स मार दिया.
टीडीएम में यू
हाँ.
आर इन माय गाइड भाई. टाइम टू अनइंस्टॉल लिल ब्रो.
अबे चलना, मजा आ रहा है मेरे को तो.
11 रन 17 बॉल्स भाई. एक और सिक्स मारा क्या?
नहीं.
पिटा की बाउंड्री
हाँ,
तूने मारा. वो मैं
ये
पिटा में
पुराना
पिटा
है
पिटा.
थोड़ा उल्टा.
मेरे पे आ गया.
Here, let's see.
खेलो खेलो
End
तुम.
of over 47. 11 runs in 16.
साइड।
बदमाशी कर रहे हैं, पीला कपड़ा वाले बदमाशी कर रहे हैं। सही बॉल नहीं दे रहे। नहीं नहीं, वो सही बॉल नहीं दे रहे हैं। उल्टा सीधा बॉल दे रहे हैं। सीधा बॉल कौन तो छक्का मार देगा।
6 6 6 4 है।
5 रन और चाहिए।
4 रन 6 रन।
ये सब सही बॉल नहीं, बेईमान है ना, इसी से भूल रहे हैं। कोहली का देखो, बॉल सही नहीं देता है ना। देखो, छक्का मार देता हूँ। अब क्या, कोई भी आएगा तो भी जीत जाएंगे 14 बॉल में। बॉल नहीं सही देंगे ना। बोला ना, बॉल नहीं सही देंगे।
जडेजा आएगा, जडेजा।
लेकिन वो नई बॉल नहीं खेलना उनका। वही जिता देता था, वही बॉल को 2 रन पे उतार दिया होता, 1 रन पे उतार दिया होता। ये है छोटे।
अब उसने व्हाट अ शॉट भाई।
जा हो
चलती ही नहीं है भाई।
हाँ भाई
आ रहा है भाई। ओए हाँ
जीत गए।
हेलो, जीत गए भाई,
या
जीत गए
क्या
भाई।
दिला रहे हो भाई जीत की खुशी में, ये बताओ।
देखो भाई गणेश,
1 स्पून ऑफ माय सीमेन।
ठीक है भाई,
हेल।
रख लो भाई।
ये भाई
रख लो भाई, कह रहा रख लो भाई।
एक्चुअली
काम आएगा बे।
अन्ना चिल।
अपने को
अभी तुम लोग को सप्लाई चाहिए होगा, मेरा यूज कर लेना।
चिल भाई, बच्चा आने से पहले दूसरों को बच्चा देना यो।
अलेक्जेंडर द ग्रेट के बाद मेरा ही नाम है। नाया नहीं साला, क्यों भाई?
ये गोटे खोलो भाई।
क्यों नहीं नाया बन क्या?
कहाँ से मार रहा है?
देख,
2 क्यों है?
मैंने नाया। रोज रोज क्यों ना आना है?
मैं चिल यो।
रोज रोज।
इसने मारा छक्का ना।
केएल राहुल ने।
वो सुपर शायद वो पे उसके मारा एक को तो। नहीं कोई
ना
और है,
ना
कोई और है, कोई और है।
रोज ना।
I'm the best gun in the game. ये लोग किधर हैं? लोग मर रहे हैं।
वही हाँ के फंस गया।
ठीक भाई।
Where are you going in reverse though?
कहाँ चल रहा है इतना फटाफट? वो घेर लिया मैं।
That,
नीचे
that
नीचे
mini's
नीचे।
ruined. That was
नहीं,
not even funny.
अजी
What the fuck? What the fuck? खुद गिर जाएगा। वेरी नाइस गेम।
क्या हो गया भाई? Why you molding me?
देखिए भाई।
Apex Gamor play तो देखा होगा।
भाई मेरे पे
chill though.
परमानेंट 2 लोग एम करके बैठे हुए हैं, मार नहीं पा रहे हैं लेकिन।
Of a rarest monkey, Wally monkey. Eh, he's cute though.
It's kind of scary.
ए भाई
ब्लून्स खेल रहे हो क्या?
डोपामाइन की
नहीं, नहीं।
मार भाई।
It doesn't even look real. Wait,
Wow,
wait,
video
it's
देखा।
AI.
XQC.
अक्ता हुआ बला।
Chad, that was AI.
भाई कौन है भाई लड़का? भाई अकिम्बो के साथ मारे जा रहा है ये बंदा।
Man, it's
भाई
clearly AI.
ये कहाँ उछल गया मैं?
भाई लोग बस उछल रहे हैं एट दिस पॉइंट।
Dude, it's sketchy out here. I don't have to walk back through there.
मैं भाई
बदला ही नहीं
कोशिश
दिख
कर
रहा
रहा
मेरे
हूँ।
को, बदला ही
हैवक है मेरे पे भाई, हैवक पीके। ओह अब तो मैं मर ही नहीं
वो
सकता
भाई
भाई।
1 क्लिप हो गया मैं।
आई वांट क्लिप्ड। मेरे को कौन मारा?
Dude, it's sketchy out here. I don't have to walk back through there. Why'd you come here? I came here to see you guys. You said I could come with you.
Chad, but he had a worm though.
Hold the point. Hold point.
Dude, it's
Your face in it, winking with your tongue out and your feet in it, and your arches exposed.
चला भाई। डफांड भी है भाई डफांड।
YouTube Premium क्या गया? है ना दूसरा आईडी पे।
Your toes clenched.
My recommendation and everything is on this shit. No?
insane भाई देखो
किसी का तो कल चुराया मैंने।
Loki looks like dosa, no?
Okay, well that's what
Yo.
Ron does to me though.
stop being so भाई
रेसर भाई।
रेसरिस्टर
अरे कौन रोक दिया मेरे को साले छोटी लुल्ली।
Fucking dumbass. हाँ बंद कर।
लड़के का है अपना सी जा रहा है भाई
वही भाई मुझे भी नहीं दिख रहे लड़के भाई स्पॉन्स
भाई
फ्लिप हो
हमारा
गए
सी जा रहा है
अरे भाई बहुत पीके बजा दिया
That is Tom and Jerry
Oh,
level.
man. That's not right, man.
ले लिया
आ गया
मैं
भाई सी।
छुपाया गड़ना है तो मार जब पीके मार पे
गिर गया नीचे गिरा
That is scary.
Jeez, man, I'd be scared too. That thing is massive.
ये बीच चला गया भाई अब
अब यही होएगा भाई एक मारोगे
He
दूसरा
jumped. He jumped on.
I don't blame him.
He jumped on it.
नेट फेंको सबके
हुक्का ही भरूंगा मैं
I
तुम्हारे
You're a
guess
सामने
shit
I-
owner if you let your dogs do this.
I can
I'm
do
gonna
that.
I'm gonna give it back in.
तेरे सामने कोई
Trash
कुत्ते
owner.
भर दूंगा भाई मैं
So I used to do door-to-door work, okay? And some of these dog owners, man, and then I would have fucking punched them. Yeah,
सी जा रहा है
I'm
वापस
just gonna get some of the story already.
I'm
I'm in this neighborhood. It seems like a rich little bit, but it's like middle upper class, okay? Ring his door. Boom. Barking out the wall. Someone barking, probably 3 dogs. The door cracks open, okay? So I start talking to the lady, so I start signing products, okay?
I don't want to hear him yap.
Ankle! Brother?
Fucking Raj.
Oh no, this is so bad. Chat, this
Mine,
is a picture of the package, unharmed, but this dog is fucking attacking the package. Now he's taking a picture of the damaged package. like he didn't do it.
Run.
भाई
Hey, hey,
क्या बकवादी है भाई एक लिया तो दूसरे पे जा रहे हैं
Why this guy's been in the army or something like that? Chat,
Yeah, I know.
I can't do this technique. Look at this guy.
बैंगलोर और सब जगह अफेक्ट किया ना पूरा कंपनी और बैंक अपना
कौन सी कंपनी
टेक्निकल और
Jeez.
वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट CGI कंपनी होती थी भाई द होल कंपनी डजंट एग्जिस्ट नाउ फकिंग इतने सारे लोगों का जॉब गया होगा भाई
कॉर्पोरेट ग्रीड
क्या हो गया
भाई
भाई इसकी जॉब चली गई वो थोड़ा लाभ
1 HP।
What the? Did they just fucking? Did you guys catch that?
One shot, one kill. Here we go.
Get him, Max. Get him, Max.
बैन क्यों नहीं हो रहा है ये डायन तो कर रहे हैं
What?
वो
Oh,
खत्म
he
हो गया
dodged a bullet.
Boy, X is nuts.
बैन क्यों नहीं हो रहा है ये मतलब
मैं करता रुझ
I don't think even noticed. Did chat notice that even?
बस ही चलो
What? Boy, X
now
is
boys are
nuts.
losing
हुआ क्या
मैंने किया
I don't think even noticed. Did chat notice that even?
Chat, could you reproduce this chat against players that you know are buying scouts? Chat, what if you always peek mid on Mirage, and you know that they're buying scouts, and you throw your pistol every round, not to get the first shot headshot.
भाई
कैसे मर गया
Is the red
उसके पास वोल्ट थी भाई केयर पैकेज वाली
9,000 feet? 10,000. So basically 10,000. what am I trying to say,
Oh,
Z?
my,
How
you're losing,
comparison?
man.
How conspiracy? How?
I think kills पे अपन behind
how-
है इसलिए आ रहे हैं.
How? What am I trying to say? Like, how can we compare? Not compare. How do we
भाई मैं एक को
भाई क्लोज कैसे आ गया मेरे?
determine how?
मेरे ऊपर
एक
लैंड
को
कर
मार
गया.
तो 10 लोग तो मेरी गांड मेरे मार रहे हैं यार.
Oh, let's go.
उनका ए लेना पड़ेगा यार. जीजी.
feet
ए ले रहे हो लोग.
into a human brain.
सब कुछ जा रहा है इनका. सब कुछ जा रहा है. डालो डालो डालो.
I'm trying to figure out. Z, you know what I'm
अबे
trying to say,
कहाँ
bro? Like,
ऊपर बैठा है
how do
पुसी
we
किड.
determine
भाई
10,000 feet
तीन सब चार चार
into
झुंड बना के खेल रहे हैं भाई ये लोग.
my mind?
मैं ए पे बैठ रहा हूँ.
What, bro? What? Hold on.
Into your mind.
ए वो लोग जीत गया.
Hold on, bro.
Unless you don't take B
I
वो लोग
don't
जीत
get
गए.
it.
Like.
नहीं वो ऐसे भी
नहीं,
किल
नहीं,
करके
नहीं.
जीत जाएंगे भाई.
किल पे नहीं बढ़ता भाई इसमें.
पड़ता है
Quite
पड़ता है.
true.
नहीं नहीं.
पड़ता है भाई.
Chat, some are undodgeable, right? Chat, some make you
जो
think
नीचे देख रहा है तो ईवो है.
नहीं नीचे नहीं देख रहा हूँ. देख वही होता है भाई. वो नहीं है वो.
How many sodas have you had? I don't know.
Fucking.
Bye, Santa!
Need about 50. Shit.
साथ में रहो भाई.
Ow! Knock it off, you little... Reese! What the... Are you calling me a liar? Boopy, 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 boopy. Cats ate her face.
Dewey, I think you're confused. I'm asking about Aunt
क्या
Helen.
मार रहा है
Cats ate her face. Live, die.
इस शो का नाम भूल गया मैं. वो तीन भाई मैल्कम ब्रदर मैल्कम कुछ है ना.
Live, die.
और शो
What happened to the
नहीं देखा
judicial
तुमने.
system presided
मैल्कम
over by a
ब्रदर.
tribunal of wise elders?
Eisenberg.
Lined up and shot.
हाँ तो
Wait, said it.
हाँ मैल्कम.
Just kidding.
Huh?
नहीं देखा तुमने.
Thank God. Look, I only get to make one call,
Hey,
so
what's
put your
the
mother
issue?
on so she can come get us.
I won.
टेंशन मर करना आता हूँ. मारा जाएगा रे.
Oh.
You guys lagging so
मारा
bad.
जाएगा.
अब ये क्या है?
He's lagging so
BS
Gun game.
squad, Nasi squad.
Gun game भाई.
ये ठीक है ये अच्छा.
क्या है ये? इसमें क्या है?
कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी वाला गन गेम.
अपग्रेड करेगा. भाई वो बीजीएमआई में होता है ना गन. कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी में
कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी नहीं खेला.
भाई पहली गेम गन इतनी अच्छी जल्दी से तो
एंड में रख देता है ना.
बीच में मिलेगी ना स्नाइपर.
अबे तो नहीं खेला क्या बीजीएमआई
नहीं मैं
में.
ये वाला नहीं खेला.
साथ में रहना साथ में.
अबे उसमें तो पहले स्टार्ट सब कुछ दे देते हैं.
Eine ganze Halle.
ये 1 HP हो.
मैंने मार दिया.
भाई
ओ डैम भाई.
इधर बचा अकेले.
खोल दिया.
कौन खोल दिया भाई.
भाई इधर
पीछे
पीछे पे.
Oh, der Pokal, er bleibt
भाई
stabil,
ऊपर
er
कौन
bleibt stabil.
कहाँ भाग रहा है
Noch
भाई
wackelt
कौन.
er.
रिस्पॉन.
हाँ भाई
Danka.
कौन.
Ist das
भाग किधर गया.
Ist das gut? Ist das cool?
अरे भाई मैं आगे कोई और बंदे को मार रहा
Und
था.
jetzt geht's gegen die Uhr. Die Zicken sind
ऊपर
raus.
था भाई
4
वो.
Minuten sind rum.
तो बताने
Jetzt der
का
ऊपर वालों को मत
Pack
मार.
rumlaufen auf dem Weg ins Finale. Der Titelverteidiger schafft
Is
das
the
hier
ass, what I
nach
mean.
oben. Unser 4:25 mit der Frankenstolz Arena im Rücken.
I got some good shit.
Frankens what?
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about the word.
इधर से.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. So right now, not in a very good position.
ऊपर तेरे पीछे
You've allowed yourself
माउंटेन
to
के
be in a very bad
पीछे.
position.
Chat, classic him.
अरे ये बंदा है क्या?
The argument with a bunch of bullshit because you know that you didn't call Uno when you had only one card, and you're gonna
ऊपर पे
draw
3
some
बंदा आ
cards.
रहे हैं.
So you try to say some bullshit so nobody remembers when he says
पकड़ नहीं
that you didn't, and then play the card. And yeah, the game's over now. She said something
He's
earlier.
supposed to be
Bang.
right about
From the
it.
very
Hey,
beginning
hey.
of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now.
खोल खोल.
वन पी नहीं भाई.
Me after playing Apex.
ऊपर का कट गया वो.
हाँ भाई मैं वन था, मैं हील कर रहा था छुप के.
सीधा फैन लॉबी में से.
वन है पुश कर रहा है, पुश कर देख लो. ओ भाई वन भी नहीं है, वो उससे भी कम है. असिस्ट मिल गया मुझे ऑलरेडी.
ए ब्रोकन
मैं
है वो.
रीलोड एनिमेशन फंस गया यार.
भाई इसके 8
HP.
That's Chintu driving.
इनटू व्हाट.
उसमें होता क्या है ना, तुम वन कर दो और अपने किसी एक टीममेट को मारने दो बस, तो हम सबका
क्या
चार्ज
कर रहा
होता
है
रहेगा.
ये?
What?
आखिर तो उसमें ही रहेंगे ना पसु.
नहीं वो बढ़ जाते हैं
मतलब जब तक
पीछे जा रहे, पीछे जा रहे. चिंटू पीछे.
Okay, chat. I swear to you, I'm not trying
मेरे
to be
पीछे वो
insensitive. I genuinely thought this was gonna be another video of like Mandarin lessons.
Bro,
'Cause
बहुत
this is like
nice
Mandarin.
game
क्या हो गया छोटू.
नहीं हाउ व्हाट.
Right? See, I'm not
पूरी
crazy.
एक मैग मारी मैंने
Chat,
उसको
what
R9
the
की.
fuck
मार इसको मार.
is this?
और मैं हिल. अरे पैर खोल मत. अरे चोट क्यों छोटू. क्यों राजदीप.
कहां से आया ये? नो सेल्स कैसे दिखाया? व्हाट द फक?
Need to stop the
हाईएस्ट
I got
रैंक.
shotgun.
Okay, no. Need to stop the chat.
नहीं
Need
हम
to stop the
highest
chat.
नहीं, हम
and-
second
and-
highest
and-
है.
अरे पीस कीपर कब दे दी हां जी?
नया गाड़ी कितने बार ठोका बनते दूसरा?
हां
नया गाड़ी कितने बार ठोका?
एक बार भी नहीं भाई.
है रिकॉर्ड.
और
for children, okay? What you visualize the math. Once they visualize it, you get away from visualizing as fast as you
fuck
can.
कर दिया भाई,
Visualization will
sorry.
only hold you back. Once they, if visualizing it helps to understand and onboard the concept, and then you can master it. You're not gonna imagine they're doing this dumb fucking shit. This fucking brain dead.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9.
मेरी दो गाड़ी पे दो
Nine
स्क्रैच है
times
बस, और दोनों खड़ी
Maybe
गाड़ी
one.
पे
How?
लगे हुए हैं.
Because 9, remove that. Just take 9. Okay, boom. Remove 1 from 9. 8. Wait.
थोड़ा किसी.
No. 9 times 9, 81. What did I say? 8?
मैं बहुत अच्छे स्पॉट पे हूँ, इधर आ जाओ.
Guys, let me check. What I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna explode your brain. Watch this. Ready? Here's what you do. Number.
ओए 1 HP है.
ओह हेल ना भाई, क्या हगा मैंने. सी क्रेबर लेके बैठा है ये, बेशरम.
हाँ मेरे पास भी क्रेपर है.
How many time did you do?
Do what भाई.
गाड़ी ठोकना.
मैंने एक बार ठोका.
porque la María ha venido a lavar un peluche.
मैंने एक बार 2 बंदे उड़ाए थे भाई बाइक से, वो जिंदा है.
यो फिर बच जाता ना.
हाँ वो लॉयर है थोड़ा सा पप्पा.
पप्पा जी है ना.
ओ क्रैक डेक.
Oh, dude, there's a scratch on my car.
भाई इतनी टट्टी गन क्यों है भाई.
मार दिया क्रेपर.
Good. Let's go.
2 मार दिए टीपी लेके जो आया था.
ए सुपर सर.
3 मार दिए.
Eating the bubbles?
No.
किम्बो कर रहे हैं भाई.
ऊपर चल बांट.
नहीं
चल नीचे चलो.
What's the actual fuck?
She wanted to surprise her boyfriend.
Small scratches.
और ये नाइफ के 1 हिट है क्या? ऐसा कुछ है क्या?
हाँ ये फाइनल वो है.
ये अपने लगवाया था क्या?
Oh my god.
These people work together to move this car that was stuck on the railroad tracks.
You are the champion बोला.
नहीं भाई, गेम ओवर
बोला. अच्छा मैं जिसको स्पेक्टेट कर रहा था उसका होगा फिर.
हाँ. We were just.
Does anyone know why dogs do this?
PPF paint protection film.
भाई PPF वेस्ट है भाई पैसे का. 4 व्हीलर के लिए PPF वेस्टेज है भाई पैसे का.
क्यों भाई?
भाई पीपीएफ इज रिच थिंग
भाई
भाई।
पीपीएफ अच्छी लगवाओगे तुम गरवारे वगैरह की, लाख रुपए की लगती है वो। अगर 250 माइक्रोन 350 माइक्रोन की मिनिमम लगवाओ तो वो चलती है 5 साल।
पीपीएफ
और
क्या होता है
लाख
भाई?
रुपए मतलब 5 साल बाद अगर तुम कंपनी से ही पूरी गाड़ी पेंट करो, लाख रुपए भी नहीं लगना तुम्हारे। पेंट डेंट सब कुछ। सो नॉट गेटिंग पीपीएफ इज अ वाइजर ऑप्शन भाई।
पेंट पे मुट मार के दे दिया
तो
तुमने।
5 साल जो गंदी दिखेगी गाड़ी वो?
मतलब तुम
भाई बट
बताओ।
पीपीएफ से भी स्क्रैच बच रहे हैं ना बस।
हाँ।
तो जितना तुम्हारा पीपीएफ का कॉस्ट है, तुम 5 साल अगर गाड़ी का रबिंग बफिंग भी कराओगे तो उतना भी नहीं आएगा वो, तुम समझ रहे हो वो चीज।
अच्छा।
कुछ और ऐसे गाड़ी लेने के बाद कोई फिर
This
सोचता
entire
नहीं है कि
school went
गंदा
silent to
हुआ
allow
ये
this
हुआ।
blind
हाँ,
bastard.
तो मेरा
exactly,
बाइक
exactly.
लेके गया था कराने को, बट उसने मना कर दिया, बोला तुम्हारा मैट फिनिश है, मत कराओ।
नहीं हो पाएगा
तो
यार।
मैट पीपीएफ आता
Player
है भाई।
2, make a
नहीं, वो मेरे को बोला कि तुम्हारा पैसा जाएगा फालतू में, मत कराओ, कलर नहीं उड़ेगा इसका, अच्छा है गाड़ी है।
shot.
मेरा तो ब्लैक है वैसे, मेरा तो वैसे ही हो चुकी है। इतने स्वर्ल मार्क्स है, इतने स्वर्ल मार्क्स है।
बच्चा की
पुरानी
गाड़ी पे
गाड़ी ले
कितना
तो लो।
बच्चा की गाड़ी पे कितने मार्क्स है भाई?
2 एक मार के भाई, वर्जिन मार के।
अरे अरे
वेल प्ले।
भाई ब्रो का चोस वायलेंस।
Hey.
He's not like
आर्मडिल्लो।
Not really supposed to be here.
भाई नॉर्मल एक वो लगा लो यार, बियर प्लीज।
This elephant somehow wandered into this Buddhist temple.
कस्टम में मैं बताऊं कितने 1 2 3
गणपति बप्पा।
5
पापा
गणपति बप्पा।
5 लोग हैं। एक बार वो बुलाओ, कस्टम करता है जोना को बुला के।
He went to go grab something outside.
ये लोग ही है ना यहाँ पे।
She thought she ordered boneless chicken nuggets, but instead she got chickenless chicken nuggets.
इसने अनइंस्टॉल कर दिया भाई, क्या करें।
मालिक भाई
वो सबका मालिक।
She tried sneaking out, hoping that nobody would notice.
ये क्या मीट बॉल है भाई?
चिकनलेस मीट बॉल है वो।
चिकनलेस मीट बॉल तो मीट
क्या बोल गए भाई?
ये कुत्ता बन गया कि निकल
Someone turned on the wrong hose on
Honey ball.
accident.
कैमरा से बच रही थी खाने वाले। वाओ, the best.
This guy somehow saved this fish's life.
Oh, not that.
Yeah, he died.
Oh, is it?
Died.
Blow in and swim.
Nico? Okay.
Come on, blow in and swim. Blow in and swim. Go on and it's up and down, babe. Like that.
डीएम देख ले एक मिनट।
Second one.
देखो भाई डीएम।
Oh my butt, the key, stupid.
आई।
I can grab those.
This dad shaved his beard off, and his baby was confused and couldn't figure out where it went.
ये गैंग सेंस क्यों थ्रो करेगा उसे डीएम देखने के बाद?
He wanted to show off by waving to the crowd before finishing the race.
वापस गैंग सेंस थ्रो कर रहा भाई ये। हेलो।
What a dumbass भाई, हर्ड भी नहीं आया।
गिर गया भाई।
Supposedly, if you give a dog an egg, they're supposed to be gentle and treat it like a baby.
What?
Oh.
What?
You know, I
किधर
didn't
उतरना है?
expect that to happen. I won't
To
lie.
break?
हॉट ड्रॉप। लॉन्च पैड चलेंगे। चल।
अरे मुझे बना दिया।
कोई तो।
How does something like this even happen?
दो नीचे।
तू भाई हो ना?
म्यूटेड था मैं, सॉरी।
Poor little guy never learned how to
लूट
drink
करना है,
water.
फाइट करना है यहाँ पे, यहाँ पे उतर।
लूट एंड फाइट भाई।
भाई
जो है उससे काम चलाना पड़ेगा भाई।
Darling, do you want to say Happy Valentine's Day to everyone?
I'm guessing it was his first day being a garbage man.
इधर एनिमी।
आ रहा हूँ।
उतर के कर ले।
दो लोग हैं ऊपर देख के। एक knock.
मेरे सामने
Someone made a human heart out of Legos.
उधर
एक और था।
एक टीम है उधर पूरी अलग।
ऊपर से पड़ रही है।
स्नाइप कर रहे हो लोग। चुप जा।
मैं नॉट हूँ बट सेफ हूँ।
सेफ है।
Oh,
बाउंटी का पड़ता है।
you good? Are you okay?
For some reason, there weren't any workers in this dollar store, so a customer took over the register and started ringing customers up.
No, then you have a customer that has figured out how to get into the register, and a customer is actually ringing customers up.
एक ड्रॉप हुआ तुम।
Yep.
ड्रॉप हो पीछे बाउंटी।
मेरे पीछे एक और क्या?
भाई मार दो भाई बाउंटी 1 है ये। मेरे पे फिनिश कर रहा है। 1 है बाउंटी पे 1 है। ऐश 1 है बाउंटी पे। वो नेवर माइंड डू।
Some people don't want help and
शील्ड
choose
खेलो,
to
मेरा
be
शील्ड
the
खेलो,
victim.
क्राउच कर लो शील्ड के लिए।
आमो नहीं थी मेरे पे वैसे भी।
यार मेरे पास वो थी दूसरी 30 पड़ा नहीं उसका कुछ।
She was upset
मेरा भी
because
यही
he
हुआ,
kept
मेरे पे
slurping the
कोई
soup.
दोस्त स्नाइपर गंदी सी
भाई इनकी पूरी टीम वन है भाई। Oh my god.
एक नॉक
क्या करेगा भाई जो ना ये लोग बुला रहे तेरे को वैसे एपेक्स में।
How does something like this even
बाउंटी
happen?
लेकिन भाई वहाँ पे तुम किसके पीछे थे? उसके क्या थर्ड वाले के?
देख तू मैं एक बंदे के पीछे था। मेरे पीछे एक बंदा था। तू उसके पीछे था। चार लोग लाइन में भाग रहे थे।
और मेरे पीछे एक और था जिसके पीछे राजदीप था।
जितने में मैं उतने तुम दोनों नॉक हो गए। मैंने एक को नॉक किया।
सबको लगा कि वो एक दूसरे को फ्लैग्स कर रहे
was
हैं।
gone for a while, so he went to go check on their mail.
सुपर बोला मेरी शील्ड पे खेल। मैं इसके शील्ड के पीछे आया था, आमो ही नहीं है।
I can't believe this actually kind of worked.
लोबा इज नॉट। तुम क्या खेल रहे थे? लोबा क्या?
हॉलो नाइट है, कपहेड है।
रिवाइव करके हम सब एक
है।
दूसरे को फ्लैंक कर रहे थे।
एल्डन रिंग है, मार्वल राइवल है।
पता नहीं मेरे को। अरे मेरा एक तो प्राइमरी में एमओ ही खत्म हो गया था। शॉटगन से खेला
मैंने भाई मारा था RE45 से यार उस ऐश को 1 किया था।
That is the end of this video. Hopefully this
Dan's
video
Discord
made your day just a little better.
क्या ये क्लोन रंबल ट्रेलर कुछ तो आया भाई नया मार्वल राइवल अपडेट।
मैं उसका तो खत्म भी नहीं किया ना। ओह फक।
क्या खत्म नहीं किया?
रूट का फ्रीज खेलना चाहिए। हम राइवल्स ही नहीं खेल रहे हैं। सही।
क्या बोरिंग है भाई। देख कितना मस्त मोड है। टोटली वैलोरेंट से नहीं उठाया एप्लीकेशन।
ये पनिशर टर्रेट बैठा है मुझे। बहुत छेड़ पनिशर आ गया
भाई 6 नेमोर वर्सेस स्पाइडरमैन। ना नेमोर जीत जाएगा क्लियर। व्हाट द फक। 5 क्लोक एंड डैगर।
तो बाउंस हो रहा है।
5 ग्रुप।
भाई बाउंटी लीडर। थोड़ा लेट नहीं हो गया?
काफी लेट हो गया।
क्या
यार द
बाबू लेट है।
एक्सटर्नल हाँ कहीं बाहर उतरो फिर बाहर से अंदर जाएंगे।
विशी
इधर एक सोल है।
विंडो ऑफ टाइमली वैल्यू ऑफ डून। ये कौन है?
गन ले वो
लैंडेड नियर में।
तो गन ले।
लॉन्ग बॉय
Journey on Galactus Cosmic to claim a free Black Widow। कोई नहीं खेलता।
और 3-1 मिल गई।
Why I have legit 2
There is something kind of refreshing about a budget phone from a company that doesn't have a bunch of more expensive phones in their lineup to protect. Huh. So this is the new Nothing Phone 3A, which starts at $379, and the Phone 3A Pro, which is $459. The naming is a bit confusing, but all you really need to know is both of these phones do a shockingly good job of feeling like $1,000 flagship phones, with just a few small asterisks. The Pro phone, for those wondering, is basically the same as the 3A, but just with a better camera system. We'll get to that in a minute. But I feel like I have no choice but to start with the way this phone looks, because there's still nothing that looks quite like a nothing phone, and that is still true. I mean, look at this blue. This blue is sick. It's still got the split design with the glyphs at the top around the cameras, but you know, they've tweaked a few things too. They've moved some screws around, changed up some of the shapes and the details. I think this is fire, to be honest. Still got that little red square too. The 3A Pro is similar, but basically a monochrome version, and then with a way bigger camera cliff, like a camera plateau. Now, some people were already ragging on their camera design because it already leaked everywhere, so we've seen it. And to be fair, it's definitely unconventional and not symmetrical at all, but I still think it's nice. The gigantic bump even becomes a nice place to rest my index finger when I'm holding the phone. So if the goal is still to be the budget phone with an interesting aesthetic, or to just be a unique looking phone in general, I think mission accomplished. Like, find me a more interesting phone design out there right now. I'll wait. Exactly. So once it comes to using this phone, like I said, it is impressive how close this $379 phone gets to feeling like a $1,000 flagship. Like, I feel like I can see a lot of Nothing's growing maturity here too. You know, they're a little bit bigger of a company now. They can afford to get more premium parts and from better suppliers, and it's paying off with a bunch of little improvements that stack up to feel really nice. Like, this phone 3A has a glass back now instead of the plastic from before. It's also now IP64 rated instead of IP54. It even has a much brighter AMOLED display now that gets up to 800 nits normally, but up to 3,000 nits peak for HDR, which is one of the highest numbers I've ever seen on paper. But forget the numbers though. This just, like I said, feels like a flagship. It's an enormous phone, first of all, even bigger again than the 2A. It's now a 6.77 inch jumbo-sized display with even bezels all the way around. It's a high refresh rate. It just feels like other flagships do. Now, yes, it's not quite as bright as the actual Ultra phones, and yes, the optical fingerprint reader under the display is a little slow sometimes, but those are small prices to pay when you're reminded of, well, the price you're paying. And then they are back to a Qualcomm chip again on this phone from a MediaTek chip last generation. So it is a Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 chip with 12 gigs of RAM. Now, some budget phones are trying to be the spec monster on paper for the price. This phone's not trying to do that. It is a lot of RAM, but that's not what this is. I think this is an appropriate mid-range chip for this phone, especially because whatever they're doing with their software is super impressive, and it really elevates the value of the thing. Like, this budget phone feels as quick and smooth most of the time as the spec monsters. So hey, shout out specifically to Nothing's software team. This is running Nothing OS 3.1 on top of Android 15. They do up to 6 years of software updates with these phones, and so many things, like these little animations, things like swiping down the notification bar, or expanding a folder from the home screen, or even swiping between recent apps. So many of these little animations have been optimized to feel super smooth every time, and you can feel it. Now, it's not immune to hiccups. Like, you sometimes feel the mask slip off a little bit, and you're moving through some heavy apps, or you're gaming for a while. And the stuff that's stressful on the GPU, you can absolutely find a way to get this phone stuttering a little bit, but I cannot be mad at the performance of this phone. Despite it not being a spec monster, it is so smooth. And I like a lot of features they've been adding to Nothing OS too. The lock screen customization is yet another one that's taken obviously a big cue from iOS, but you can see now you can long press and dive in and mess with the clock and drop in a few widgets on your lock screen if you want to. So the software is great. But you might be wondering about AI, because I don't know if you've noticed, but Nothing is one of the last big name smartphone companies that isn't heavily pushing a ton of AI stuff in their new phones. They don't have an AI image generator. They don't have a whole bunch of writing tools or AI summaries for notifications or Genmoji or anything like that. There is no object removal from photos, nothing. But there is one really interesting big new AI feature. So you see this here, they've added a single button to the side of the phone. It's actually a different shape than the other buttons. It's kind of dome shaped instead of flat, and it's right under the power button, so it's super reachable and you can't miss it. This is the AI button. If you double press it, it opens up the essential space, and this is an entire separate area of the phone just focused on making the AI helpful to the user. So here's what that means. Basically, you just save a bunch of stuff in here in the form of screenshots, and you can always come back here for referencing this stuff or finding information from the screenshots, or even setting reminders about that stuff. So kind of think of it like the Pixel Screenshots app, but on steroids. So from anywhere you want on the phone, you can press that button once and it'll capture whatever's on your screen and save it. But then if you hold down that button, it will also start a voice recording that gets attached to that screenshot. So you can say something you want to remember, like, "This is the lawnmower Andrew told me about," or "Remind me to buy tickets to this concert tomorrow." And then that recording gets transcribed and summarized, and it will even detect and set actual reminders for you to do stuff with that information at a later date. I think that's an awesome start to something that could be really cool someday. It's still kind of being built out. I have this personal rule where I won't dump my life into something if it's not multi-platform. And this isn't, it's just on this phone, so there's no web version of this. I can't access this on my computer or a tablet or anything else like that. So I'm not gonna dive all in on something like this, but maybe someday in the future, could be cool. Or I could just ignore it completely and pretend it doesn't exist. You could too. Although I will say, you are going to press this button accidentally a whole bunch of times. Now, both the 3A and 3A Pro have the same 5,000 milliamp hour battery and excellent battery life. Both have 50-watt charging now, which is a little faster than last year, but basically that's 0 to 100 in an hour. And they are both still missing wireless charging.
That's fine.
So that's one of the stings that, for me, someone who's used to wireless charging on a bunch of phones, that's a tougher trade-off, but this is one of the things that they've decided to stick with for nothing phones, although it is still pretty fast wired charging, so at least you have that. So the only difference you really need to know about is the cameras. The 3A Pro is the one theoretically you should want if you care more about cameras, and if you don't, then the 3A should be fine for you. That's on paper anyway. So I shot a bunch with the 3A and the 3A Pro cameras, and what was interesting is I didn't find a whole lot of difference in most situations between the primary cameras on these phones. Even though the sensor on the Pro is slightly bigger, they're both 50 megapixels, but the Pro has a little bit better autofocus. In general, the pictures from both of them are passable. You know, the sensor is big enough to get you a soft background for close-up subjects. The colors aren't too overprocessed, although you might get some fringing and overexposure, but generally they're pretty decent looking photos. The 8 megapixel ultra-wides are also identical, which is to say pretty meh. But the 3x periscope telephoto lens on the Pro definitely gives you a more usable far range and macros than the 2x on the 3A. So I love a good periscope zoom. I just think I was expecting to notice more of a difference between these two, given how dramatic of a difference this huge camera table makes. But it's not actually that big of a difference from my experience, so the more you know. So here's my final thoughts on this Nothing Phone refresh. First of all, as someone who just came from reviewing the iPhone 16e, this spec sheet on paper makes the iPhone 16e spec sheet on paper look terrible. This looks loaded. Obviously, it's triple cameras. It's a much bigger, brighter AMOLED display. It's high refresh rate. It's also a massive battery and great battery life.
iPhone 16e
while
is just...
you have 60 hertz and a smaller phone and, you know, the single camera on the 16e. And it's way cheaper. So just a lot of value here in general, which is what we expect from Nothing from the A series. But my other thought is, I am now way more curious about Nothing Phone 3, like a genuine flagship from this company, because if they're able to make this for this value, I kind of wonder what a Snapdragon 8 Elite and a silicon carbide battery and maybe even wireless charging and a whole bunch more specs loaded into a phone like this could be, because they're so good at software already.
I mean, you are to say,
I kind of hope we see something like that, hopefully soon. Thanks for watching.
I want to say what they cook for the back one. Peace.
Peace.
E-clutch.
ये मैं हूँ और ये मैंने बॉल फेंकी और
उड़ी 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 गेंद जाके सीमा लेगा के बाहर गिरी।
देखो भैया, होता है कभी कभी। मैं 6 मारने का ट्राई कर रहा था, 4 चला गया, कोई बात नहीं। पूरे मैच में इतनी अच्छी बॉलिंग डाली, लेकिन एक बॉल पूरा इंटरनेट पे वायरल हो गया।
कितनी अंदर बॉल फेंकी, वाह! अंपायर आउट है।
See, there are very few phones Now these days there's not much to see in phone boxes. Like, what do people unbox them? Now there's some minute changes here, like you get the phone, paperwork, but the USB cable now no longer has transparent ends like last year.
Why?
And there's that iconic SIM ejector tool, and of course no charger in the box. But the interesting thing is there's a dedicated button just below the power button. I would lose it if this is a camera button like an iPhone. We don't need it, please. Now mostly we'll be talking about the Nothing Phone 3a Pro because the 3a and 3a Pro have similar specs, but wherever necessary we'll also mention the difference between both of them. Now before we get to the bad, let's talk about the good. Now the most important aspect of Nothing phones is design. The Nothing Phone 3a has the same design aesthetic as the Nothing Phone 2a. The Phone 3a has an additional telephoto camera now, whereas the Phone 3a Pro here
Periscope.
has a big circular camera island because it has a periscope zoom camera. Now about the design of the phone, people on the internet as well as in our office are divided.
Sayan, what do you think of this 3A Pro's design?
Looks heavy, but it is pretty unique, like a flaunty design. I would not want to use a cover for this.
I think it's straight out of space. Really cool.
I find this camera design very weird.
While unboxing the phone, I like the color and design
You
of
are
the 3A,
weird,
whereas
bitch.
Shobikda liked the design of the 3A Pro. I believe if they would have made this entire area black, something like Vivo X200 Pro, it would not have bothered so many people. But anyway, the design of the 3A Pro is quite bold and polarizing, and slowly I think you stop noticing it that much. Other than the changes in the camera, the pattern of glyph light stays the same.
कुछ तो नया कर रहा है ये, उसमें भी बोल रहा है कि सेव कर भाई.
When you get a call, all the glyph light glows. The next light strip is the essential notification. But the thing, what is essential notification? Well, the notification from the apps that are important to you, for example, notifications from Slack, WhatsApp and Instagram, if your crush ever responds to your DM. So this glyph light will keep on glowing until you pick up your phone and interact with the notification. For the rest, non-essential notification, it just blinks and goes away. On the top left, you have the progress bar. So if you set a timer or book a ride via Uber or even order food via Zomato, the progress bar shows the progress, obviously. Also, a good upgrade on the 3A series is the back is now tempered glass instead of plastic, so those scratches from coins or keys would affect less. In our usage, up until now, there are no scratches on the phone. Also, both the phones have an IP64 rating, so it can resist splashes of water and water sprays from any direction. Like, comes in handy for occasions like.
Are we still discussing splashes of water, brother? We know what IP68 is.
But what about the changes in the display? The Nothing Phone 3a series comes with 6.77-inch 120Hz display. Both displays are the same size. Outdoors, the display is quite bright. While using the phone for Google Maps navigation or even for reading articles, the display outdoors was quite bright. And even indoors, I watched a lot of content like the India-Pakistan match where King Kohli made a century and a comeback. I would just like to pray that God please maintain this form so finally RCB can win IPL this year. RCB winning IPL. Jokes aside, surprisingly CID Season 2 is on Netflix. So I watched a few episodes. The color, sharpness and all are on point. Even the display is quite bright. Moreover, it was a good nostalgic trip, like those iconic one-liners like कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. Overall, the display seems good. While there are quite new changes in the software, the battery capacity remains the same at 5000 mAh. Now, I've watched quite a bit of content and reels, played games, clicked photos. The phone easily lasts me a day on a single charge. Now, regarding charging, the Phone 3a series supports up to 50-watt fast charging. It takes about an hour to top up the phone. But battery and charging is something every smartphone maker gets it right. But is the software okay? या फिर कुछ तो गड़बड़ है? I should really stop watching CID. The Nothing Phone 3a series runs on the latest Nothing OS 3.1, which is based on Android 15. Nothing, I believe, is still one of the few phones to come without any ads or bloatware. Also, Nothing OS is getting better as it's aging. First is the new app drawer. If I select the smart option, it uses AI to automatically categorize the apps in different folders. Second is, if you long press on folders and tap on customize, you get some folder styles to arrange the icons in the folder. And if you have secret apps, you can add them to the folder and select the cover style and assign an icon to a folder. So that way your app is now an icon and you can hide apps in plain sight. Now remember that extra button just below the power button? Well,
essential
if you're
button
it to be an action button or a camera button, congratulations, you are wrong. It's an essential space button. So let's say you were scrolling reels and you found a gadget.
I am right.
I just press and hold this button. It starts to record audio. So this is a kettle that can cook Maggi, mini idlis, fried rice and whatnot. Maybe I'll buy this someday. Now I'll release the button, double press the button to open the essential space and it takes a minute to summarize the audio. And here I have as a reminder. Apart from this, it even detected the name of the product and gave a title to it. Now, next, let's try with a smartphone. So I scrolled a reel and found a smartphone and press and hold the button to record. I would like to buy this smartphone in the next 5 minutes. And probably I'll get it from Flipkart. So it does the processing and generates a summary of the audio. In the title, it says that a smartphone featured is available at a discount, and it also send me a reminder as I had said that I would buy this phone in the next 5 minutes. Now it can only generate summaries if you're speaking to it in English. We tried doing it with Hindi, it's a hit or a miss. So to summarize, basically nothing has tried creating something similar to pixel screenshots, but they have added an extra button to trigger it, and you can also record audio along with the screenshot. So is this a gimmick or useful? Well, personally I found it useful as I kept on researching different gadgets and smartphones. I already used an app called My Mind which does kind of the same thing, but it's an app. It's a third-party app. Here, the feature is built in. Oh, in case you're wondering, you cannot remap this button to do something else, but hopefully someone will make an app for this. Other than this, you also get circle to search. So from identifying new gadgets to searching for the name of a song, it can do it all. Also, there are visual changes in the quick settings. Like in the lock screen, you get some customizations. You can choose the clock style, add multiple widgets. This is with Nothing OS 3.0. It's there in all Nothing phone. Also, there's new Nothing Gallery app, which has that Nothing's design aesthetics. If you swipe up, it will show some of the photo details. If you tap on edit, it will now redirect to Google's editing suite. So from here, it's all Google Photos. See, overall the software here is fast and fluid. There are app closing and opening animations. I believe one of the major reasons for buying a Nothing phone is the Nothing OS. Also, while these features are good, there are a bunch of bugs. See, in the phone 3A, if I swipe down from the notification panel, see how the name and icon appear for the glyph, and this phone got a software update, and this bug still exists even after that. Another bug that we spotted was Sam video called me on WhatsApp. His video was having a scaling or zoom issue. Hopefully nothing will fix this issue in a software update. Oh, and talking about software update, Nothing promises to give 3 years of Android updates plus 4 years of security updates. Now, so far it might have seemed that the Nothing phone 3A series, अच्छा ही तो है. Well, here's where you will be a bit disappointed. The Nothing Phone 3A and 3A Pro comes with the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 processor. Now I know what you are thinking. Pratik, what is Snapdragon 7S Gen 3? In very simple words, in the chipset ranking, if a processor name has a plus, it has higher CPU speeds with a better GPU equipped for better gaming and heavy multitasking. The problem when a processor has S in its name, it's powerful enough only to do daily tasks and can handle light gaming loads. So we ran the Antutu benchmark. It scores somewhere around 8 lakhs, which is similar to 7 Gen 3. Now, here's the funny thing. So you get this game mode toggle when you open Antutu, and in this, we turned on the performance mode and then ran the Antutu benchmark, and it scored less from what it scored in normal mode. We also ran the CPU throttling test and the graph is green. But these are just benchmarks. How does it perform in real life tasks? In normal day-to-day tasks, I've opened 7 to 10 apps, and if I keep switching between them, the app opens up instantly, it doesn't reload, the RAM management is good. In heavy tasks like gaming, in BGMI you can play max at HDR graphics, 60 FPS. There's no 90 FPS support, and in half an hour of gameplay it was smooth. The phone didn't get too warm. Even in COD mobile, you can only game in 60 FPS. Phone 2A could do 90 FPS, but here it's 60 FPS. Maybe they'll get an update, but the gameplay was smooth, the phone didn't get that warm. So for normal daily usage with casual gaming, the phone 3A does a decent job. It doesn't have that crazy performance like Nord 4 or Poco S6 that you get in this price range. It's just good enough performance. Now the major gripe in Nothing phone has been the camera, and even this year things start getting tricky. Nothing this year has focused majorly on camera, so the Nothing phone 3A now comes with a telephoto camera this year, and the photos from the phone 3A are sharpness. But beyond that, the photo seems like oil painting. The ultra-wide camera also does a decent job, and there is a color shift between the photos clicked using the ultra-wide and...
Were to check full gameplay. The last याद भी है क्या?
I get you. I want you to go and see my old friend.
ठीक है ना?
Good job getting rid of them clowns.
Okay.
A man who sells lies and...
हुआ है क्या? I think उतना ही हुआ है.
Christ alive! It's the map! I found the map! At the end of this very...
Okay, I'm spoiling myself now.